Hi, welcome to Conversations and Cocktails. Today's guest is Shawn Mockus, and Shawn Mockus is the bringer of joy. Not the spreader, not the bearer, but the bringer of joy in the Seattle area. And she has chosen a mint julep. I met, and we'll do a cheers in just a sec, I want to let you know, I met you at this home. We're in a home today. It's called the
Cosmic Hen House.
Cosmic Hen House, because 3 people live here, very joyful beings. I feel very blessed to be here today. And you were one of the, not only are you one of the hens, but you were also one of the people that you did this. You created the structure through your carpentry skills. So we'll talk about that, because that's joyful and lovely. But first, she chose a bourbon drink. I decided on a mint julep, or Jeff did. And so here we are. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for doing this with me. I have to see how I like it. Oh my God. Why is it the browns always make me cough? I don't
really
know.
Tasty. I need another swig of that.
Yeah, it's good, and it's cold. It's very refreshing, I want to say. It's got crushed ice and some mint and clearly some sugar, because it's very sweet. I will have another sip because it is refreshing.
To the races. Off to the races.
Off to the races. Here we are. So I'm curious. So you are a bringer of joy, and I know some of your history, and I know that you've gone down some different spiritual paths looking for that joy. And I'm curious, as you are a seeker of joy and a searcher of joy, like, when did you start this journey of knowing that you were looking for something bigger that we'll call joy?
Well, religious things always held an interest for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to go to catechism classes when I think I was 12 years old.
Catholic or Lutheran?
Catholic.
Okay.
Catholic.
Mm-hmm.
My
I went to
family.
catechism Lutheran.
My family was not very religious. My brother would jokingly call us Cheester Catholics. We would, on a good year, we'd go at Christmas and Easter.
Oh, Cheester. Okay.
Cheester Catholics.
Yeah.
But not even always at Christmas or Easter. So going to catechism wasn't really, my parents didn't make me do that. So it wasn't until later that I decided I was interested. I wanted to, I had a curiosity about spiritual things. So, it didn't take me long to realize that wasn't really for me. The Catholic religion wasn't really for me. And fast forward a few years, and I was in high school, and I crushed out on a girl on my softball team, and then I got very religious because of her. And
Was she religious?
She was.
Oh,
yes.
so you chased a girl.
Yes.
Okay.
I like to say that Jesus made me gay.
Oh, nice. So you're gay.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes, and that's part of that journey into joy, because I liked this girl. She was religious. I became religious, and then the religion that I got involved in, I was a fundamentalist Baptist.
A gay fundamentalist Baptist following a girl down the path?
Yes, and the whole time trying to not be gay. Like, I tried that pray the gay away thing, and that didn't work.
I don't know what that is.
Pray the gay away,
No.
And go through therapy.
Oh, God.
Go through therapy to make you not gay.
No. Yeah, but that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. But okay.
I didn't go through the therapy, but I went, all through, because I was in a fundamentalist Baptist Bible college.
Okay.
And I was, I had these very conflicting feelings.
Right.
Because
in love with a girl,
in love
and
with
you're
a
not
girl,
supposed to be.
and not supposed to be. And
according to that religion.
Right. And I'm trying to pray. I'm like trying to pray these thoughts and these feelings away. And at the same time, I'm like, I just couldn't understand why that was wrong. Like, in my mind, how I am loving somebody. I don't see how love is good.
Right.
Love is good. How can this be wrong?
Right.
Like, I could never jive those things in my head. And it turns out there's a lot of things that don't jive, with those fundamentalist beliefs and those hardcore staunch, Bible, when it's just full of contradictions and errors, and it was made by a but written by a bunch of men centuries and centuries ago. It's like, how relevant is that really, to me today?
Right.
So I really was like a mental and emotional basket case through Bible college. And, and all through Bible college here, I'm thinking I'm going to be a missionary. I'm going to marry a preacher, although I had a girlfriend the whole time. I don't know, like how I'm holding these two thoughts in my head and struggling, like emotionally struggling.
It wasn't joyful.
No, it wasn't joyful. It wasn't joyful at all. And then I get kicked out of Bible college.
Because you're gay?
Because I was gay.
Right.
And, then I had this really crazy pendulum swing from being like really religious to being like not interested in that. Yes.
The pendulum swung?
The pendulum swung completely in the other direction. And I was not interested in anything, again, we'll say spiritual or religious. I'll use both of them. I can use those interchangeably because I am both. I am actually spiritual and I tend to be religious about some things. Not always, but anyway. So, while the pendulum is swinging this way, of course, life happens and something has come up and now it's swung back this way. And I am in need of something to satisfy the spiritual.
Something greater than yourself.
The spiritual need. Like there's something that I'm still needing, And it sounds all great that whatever, you've got this Jesus-shaped hole in your heart and people are going to try to fill it. People want to fill that with alcohol or they want to fill that with drugs, but you just need Jesus in that hole. Well, look, I tried that too and it didn't work. The Jesus in the hole wasn't working.
Is that a fundamentalist thing?
Yes.
I've never heard it.
Yes.
I don't want Jesus in my hole. Just fucking stay out of my hole.
There's a Jesus-shaped hole.
Me Too movement. Dear God, how many holes has Jesus been in?
So that's a good question. So anyway, I was in search of this something more, and that was what brought me to the Center for Spiritual Living.
And is that where joy became your purpose?
That is where I felt like these blinders completely came off of my eyes. At the Center for Spiritual Living, the spiritual tools that I was given, just the idea of thinking about things in this completely new and refreshing way, which completely jived with, it made sense. It resonated for me.
And
it spoke to me.
So in case you're curious, what is CSL? It is Center for Spiritual Living, and the religion that Center for Spiritual Living is religious science, not to be confused with Scientology. Religious science is different. So
that's
I
correct.
just want, because not everybody, you and I know what CSL
Right.
is, but not everybody like CSL. What?
Correct. So, and to me, it's more about, and I don't even attend anymore, but I still 100% believe in the message, and to me, that is what was like so freeing for me. That this idea that God is outside of me, I don't believe that anymore. I believe that God is the life energy that is living and manifesting and everything. Everything that has life is a manifestation of the life force, and we can call it God, or we can call it spirit, or we can call it goddess, which I prefer.
Right. And you actually not just attended CSL as a religious science lay person, you went and you became a practitioner. Is that correct?
That's true. That's true.
So that, as far as the bringer of joy, that is a place that's a holy sacred space that you hold for people as a practitioner, and they can pay you to work with them to learn the tools and for you to hold space for their joy as well. Is that correct?
I've never taken money for that.
Oh. I've paid practitioners at a religious science practitioner.
I know, but I I can't.
I should have used you.
I can't do that.
I mean, if I knew,
you know,
economically, this is a good idea, people.
Well, I mean, the ideas are, you know, they're life changing. They are,
yeah.
and I mean, sharing that to me, like, sitting with somebody in like a counseling session. I've never. I mean, I've been to counseling where I'm paying somebody, but I've never taken money from somebody. I did go through practitioner training.
And you graduated.
I was a licensed practitioner.
Okay,
I could have charged.
I was going to say, I think that's what they do, right?
But I never did do that. And no, so today what I do is I just, for this idea that, you know, I am a carpenter. No, that's something I do. That's what I do to pay the bills.
Right.
And I love it.
And you own your own construction
company. And I own
company.
my own. I'm a general contractor, and I love to do the work. So that's joyful for me, and I love to see the happiness that it brings to my clients. You know, I'm creating something, a dream in their mind, and I am bringing it into reality.
So now I get that you don't charge as a practitioner. Do you charge as a carpenter?
Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I mean, I just am curious. Like, both of them are.
Yes.
Both of them bring joy to people.
Right.
And one you're willing to charge for, and one you're not. Like, how do you know the difference there? Like, what?
You know, I never tried to get clients.
Oh.
I never tried to counsel people.
Oh.
It was a spiritual journey for me, and I was hungry for that. So I went through all those years of training.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I think it was 8 years from the start of taking the basic courses all the way through to the end of my training. I think it was 8 years.
Yeah, it's a lot of
before I became a practitioner. You know, but this was so, first of all, worth every penny, and you know, life changing.
Right.
I mean, I spent 4 years in Bible college, and I just got a lot of like heartache and grief, and like mental issues.
Right. Well, good thing they got all cleaned up when you were at CSL.
That's true.
Going to school to be a practitioner.
That's true. And I wouldn't trade any of it, you know, like I needed all those experiences.
Right.
It made me who I am today, you know?
So how did you learn, and it's kind of interesting because you have a Jesus-filled hole, and some people say Jesus was a carpenter. I mean, I've heard different things. The shepherd, but I'm Lutheran, he was a sheep herder where I grew up. And then when I got out in the world, he was apparently a carpenter.
Right, I mean, he had to pay the bills too.
Yeah. So he's a sheep herding carpenter? I don't know. How did you become a carpenter? You're following Jesus' footsteps? Looking for the holes?
So I was actually, again, I was an office manager. I was a long-haired, pencil paper pushing office manager.
Fake nails?
God, no, I didn't have. I think I maybe had fake nails like once in my life as a joke, some late press-ons or something. I've never actually had like acrylic nails. Those, no. I'll get pedicures. I like to have my toenails painted, but so.
You're an office manager.
I was an office manager, and I was dating somebody who was a concrete carpenter, and she had a side job that weekend and asked if I wanted to come and help her. And I went and helped, and she was just like, "You're a natural," and I loved it. I just enjoyed doing it, you know, without even anyone ever telling me how to pick up a saw and use it. She was just like, she's like, "I thought for sure somebody had taught you that."
Maybe you're Jesus reincarnate.
I'm not going to say that kind of crazy shit.
I will. She's looking for Jesus in holes, and she's a carpenter.
No, it's a Jesus-shaped hole. It's a Jesus-shaped hole, and the only thing that can fill it is Jesus.
Oh.
That's what they say.
I don't know who they are, but I think they might be a little wacko. But that's just me. I've looked in my chest and there's no holes. I am
Jesus.
holy. WHO.
L-Y. L-L-Y.
Oh God.
Don't ask.
Don't ask. Don't ask, don't tell.
So, anyway, that was how I began on my steps to becoming a carpenter. A girlfriend asked me if I wanted to do a side job with her, and so I stayed at that office manager job for a while, and then another woman friend of mine started a construction business, and it's a woman construction business, and she wanted to hire women, so I started at the bottom, bottom rung, digging ditches for like wire and water or whatever. She was a general contractor,
right.
And I was an employee, so I did whatever she told me to do. Right. But then I worked for her for 7 years, and she made the mistake of sending me to the client with a bill that wasn't sealed, and I looked at the bill.
Oh, and you knew how much you were getting paid and how much she was getting paid all of a sudden.
I could see what she was charging for my labor, and I knew what I was getting paid for my labor, and I thought to myself, I can get my own clients.
And you built this house is beautiful.
Thank you.
It's beautiful, and I got to see pictures of your process, and I've seen it over the last couple of years, the different things, and you've built that beautiful apartment in the back and your deck. So I wanted to have this interview on your back deck that you just built, because the orange and the gray and then the natural color. Like, how did you design that? How did you decide on that?
Well, Erica and Carlin, so we took down the old deck.
Do you want to tell them who Erica and Carlin is?
Erica and Carlin are my partners.
So the trifecta, three wives.
The Polly G's, right?
Polly G's.
Erica and Carlin and myself. And so they wanted to reuse as much of the old deck that was back there as possible. So we took off all the old boards, and the old deck was painted red.
Okay.
But the new deck we were making was almost 4 times the size of the old deck. So they took all of the old red boards and painted them the gray and the orange.
Oh, fun. So
and then all the new boards we just left natural. And they said to me, make it random. And I have to say that making something look random is very difficult. I shouldn't say difficult. It's time consuming. Because it is literally random.
It's like a puzzle.
Lines and seams all over the place, but visually it looks really
amazing.
Tight. It looks really
I
tight.
wish it wasn't raining in Seattle, because we would be back on the back porch so you could see this amazing deck and the random colors. So with your bringer, not a bearer, the bringer, not the spreader.
That one's the worst.
The spreader of joy. The seed spreader. I don't know. Okay. The bringer of joy. As the bringer of joy, and in all the careers that you've had that have gotten you to this place where you really understand that joy is the most important aspect of your life. How has being a female helped you or hurt you along the way? I mean, you're in a carpentry business. How's that? You're polyamorous. Like, how's that? You chose to be Christian and you're gay. How's that? Helped you or hurt you? Like, all those things, right?
Right. Well,
and your family of origin. Like, how are they with your lifestyle choices and being a carpenter?
Well, the good thing is, from the family side, my family was not religious. That was, which makes it even really a little bit more bizarre. I did that all on my own. My family was not religious. So stopping going to church wasn't a big shock to them. Coming out as gay wasn't a big shock to them. I mean, they were like, some of my family and friends from, back when I was a child were like, we've been waiting for that for so long. Like, we weren't, that was the response.
Nobody was fooling themselves.
No.
Only you.
And no one, exactly. And no, so that the family support was not the issue. Now, I would say the most challenging being a woman in the construction business, you know, I just don't really feel like it. I don't feel like that's. I don't feel like it's been a hindrance at all. Right. Challenge. I feel like I vibe out there that I want, like the type of client that I want. Like, that's the type of person that I am. That's the type of client I want to attract to myself. So, I've not, you know, like being a woman, being a man. Like I just don't break it down. I don't think about it like that. But when you say it, I mean, you know, usually I'm dressed up. I look like a young dude in my work clothes. I get called sir and little buddy and, you know, all the time, Mr., you know, and I just don't even, I've gotten to the point where I don't even correct people anymore. I just don't even care. I just don't care. So I just think being a woman is the fucking best thing in the world.
Me too. I do too. I mean, really, I do. Isn't it amazing? I just love all of everything about all the things. You know, I can dress up, dress down. I can wear jeans or put on a cocktail gown. I mean who's going to say no to me?
Right. I mean, I don't know that the most challenging thing is, you know, so sometimes, honestly, I will walk into some hardware stores. We'll just, you know, and it tends to be the smaller hardware stores where it's like all dudes. If you're lucky, there's one chick working in there. And I feel like they're slinging some dude. But I just don't let that shit stick to me.
Right.
You know why? Because I'm just interested in being joyful.
Joy.
If they want to be the dick, they can be the dick. I'm not going to let it affect my day. Right. I'm not going to let that shit stick to me.
Because you're the bringer of joy.
I'm just like, you know what? That's on them.
Right.
Because, I mean, I do sometimes feel that. But usually, you know, I'm like live and let live. And I feel like for the most part, most people are like that.
Yeah. So now if somebody in our audience is in Seattle and they're looking for a joy-filled carpenter that is looking for a Jesus hole, how do they
Jesus-shaped hole.
Shaped hole. I'm just kidding. No, really, I mean, because we, as a single female, I think, or even a male, it's somebody who wants somebody that they can trust, licensed and bonded in their home while they're not there to do work like this. I mean, smooth wall, hello, who does smooth wall? Smooth wall, that means all of it. I mean, that's hard work. But how do they find you?
Well, I am at janealltrades@gmail.com.
Jane.
All trades.
So all one word. JaneAllTrades
@gmail.com. My business is Jane of All Trades, but that email was taken.
So take out the of. It's just JaneAllTrades
@gmail.com.
Okay. And then no social media.
Oh, I'm on Instagram at Shawn Mockus.
And that's where I saw your deck, actually.
On Instagram. And I am on Facebook, Shawn Mockus.
And do you want to spell your last name, or do you?
Mockus. It's spelled just like it sounds.
Okay, and Shawn is the SHAUN. Perfect. Well, thank you everybody for joining me, and thank you for visiting with me and sharing your joy with me. Another toast, darling. Yes.
Cheers.
Cheers.